What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Kids Talk Sports Podcast. And on today's episode, I've got an NBA special video for you guys today. I'm going to be talking about three big NBA storylines that have been going around. And I'm going to talk about the Lakers versus Pelicans play-in game and the Warriors versus Kings play-in game and break down some key events that happened in that game, key players, some different stats, and how teams could have done stuff differently to propel and come out for the victory. So first thing we're going to talk about are the two playing games that I want to talk about. So the first one is the Los Angeles Lakers versus the New Orleans Pelicans. The Los Angeles Lakers took home the dub, 110 to 106, with LeBron James leading the way for scoring with 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. And Zion Williamson had a major game for the Pelicans with 40 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. And the big key on why the Pelicans lost this game is because of one of our storylines. Zion Williamson did unfortunately get injured in the final minutes of this game after having 40 points and 11 rebounds. It's really sad to think about. He been playing well all year. He's had some injury issues in his college career and NBA career. Well, mostly just his basketball career, because he had that one injury where his shoe rolled over and his Nikes blew out or something. That was crazy. I don't know how that happened. But he's had a lot of injuries in his career, so if he could have not got injured and maybe the Pelicans would have made a run to the playoff, I think that would have been huge for him. But he had 40 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists, so a huge game by him. But he did get hurt in the final minutes of the game. I think that's why the Lakers took home the dub. I think they played really well together. D'Angelo Russell had a clutch game with 21 points. So did Anthony Davis with 20. And Rui Hachimura really had a good game with 12 points. So I think the Lakers starting lineup, their offense is firing on all cylinders. Austin Reeves too. I think they're playing really well. But I think the thing is, I think it's their defense that's really hurting them right now, because they've been proven that they can score definitely a lot. But it's their defense. They got to start getting some stops on defense. And I think that could help them to make a deep run, especially because they do have LeBron James, who has so much experience making runs in the playoffs. And then the second and final playing game that I want to talk about is the Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. The Kings took home this dub in blowout fashion, 118 to 94. This was a blowout by the Kings. Keegan Murray, the rookie out of Iowa, had a huge game with 32 points and 9 rebounds. He is my Rookie of the Year pick this year. He's played a lot of games. Hasn't really missed any games like injury or stuff. He has scored the ball very well, and he's also been rebounding very well, and he's been clutch in moments where the Kings need him a lot. He's hit some clutch threes, some clutch game winners. I think Keegan Murray is going to be a very, very special player one day, and he just is a very good player for the Kings. And his brother, Keegan, and I'm trying to think of his brother, Keegan, and I'm trying to think of his brother's name, but I can't think of it. But there's another Murray that played really well in college. And I think he's going to be good. But Jonathan Kuminga for the Warriors really showed up for them in this game with 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists off of the bench. For an NBA player, that's very, very solid for Jonathan Kuminga. There's 16 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. I think that kind of gave him a little bit of a spark, considering that their starting lineup, Curry had 22, Green had 12, I think Wiggins had 12. But then I think the thing that really killed him, Klay Thompson did not score a single point the entire game. Man, I really feel bad for Klay Thompson, because he's just not been able to show up consistently as a good player and a good shooter for the Warriors. It used to be so cool to see Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, the Splash Bros, just run down the court, pull from 3, boom. But now I think those days are over after Klay Thompson had his injury. Dude, he cannot shoot a 3. It's just rough to watch. I hate to say it, but I think Klay Thompson is washed, and I think it's almost time for him and Curry to retire. which will be it's getting close to the end of an era here with LeBron about to retire, Curry, Clay, KD, all those guys are getting close to where they're going to have to retire. But Curry did show up with 22 points, but so again, the Lakers defeat the Pelicans 110-106, and the Kings defeat the Warriors 118-94. And next, we've got 3 NBA storylines that I want to talk about that have been going around. So the first storyline I kind of already mentioned a little bit, but Zion Williamson injured in the playoff game after scoring 40 points, and the Pelicans lose by 4. Zion Williamson got injured last 4 minutes. I do not remember what the injury was, but the Pelicans lost by 4 after him scoring 40 points, which was really rough. I really felt bad for Pelicans fans in that moment. That had to be really rough. Jimmy Butler tears his MCL in Miami Heat's loss after a 12-point lead at halftime. This was rough. This was really rough. Jimmy Butler tears his MCL while his team loses in the play-in game by 1 point after they had a 12-point lead at halftime. This is rough. So first of all, you lose by 1 point, which I would way rather lose by 50 points, 80 points. I don't care how many. I would way rather lose in a blowout or like at least 5 points or more than it be us lose by 1, because that just makes you feel like you're so close to winning that game. But I would way rather lose in a blowout than lose by 1. But Jimmy Butler tears his MCL in the play-in tournament, trying to get in the playoffs. First, your team loses by 1. Second, you tear your MCL. Third, you had a 10-plus point lead in the second half. Like, that's everything that could go wrong. That was just really rough to see, but they said Jimmy Butler is going to at least take probably a month for him to get back, so hopefully he can get back for next year. And then Dante DiVincenzo misses the qualification for the awards by seconds after being the favorite to win Most Improved Player of the Year. This was crazy to hear. So the NBA implemented this new rule where you have to have played a certain amount of, it's either games or like minutes, and to qualify for getting an award. Dante DiVincenzo did not qualify to get an award by literal seconds, and he was the favorite to win Most Improved Player of the Year. Like, I think that's a really stupid rule by the NBA, or at least, I just think it's stupid that he missed it by literal seconds. That's just really rough. But, and he was the favorite. He was probably going to win Most Improved Player of the Year, which is a pretty good award to receive, Most Improved Player, which means, like, you improved, you got way better from last year than this year. And for in the NBA, too, I think that's really good. So, but I just feel really bad for Dante DiVincenzo, honestly. That's really rough. So, again, the NBA storylines, Dante DiVincenzo misses qualification for awards by literal seconds after being the favorite to win Most Improved Player of the Year. Jimmy Butler tears his MCL in Miami Heat's loss after 12-point lead at halftime. And Zion Williamson injured in play-in game after scoring 40 points, and the Pelicans lose by 4. So I hope you guys enjoyed this NBA episode. I'm going to be trying to get out more podcast episodes to you soon. But for this week's question of the week, it is, what is your favorite NBA team? Again, for this week's question of the week, it is, what is your favorite NBA team? You can send in your answer to this week's question of the week and previous question of the weeks to my email. And again, my email is talksportswithmason@gmail.com. Again, my email is talksportswithmason@gmail.com. And if you want to go check out my YouTube channel, that will be linked in the description, in the notes of this episode. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.